Hello and welcome to my video presentation for Super Graphics for Social Change, Part 2 for Assessment Task 3. The following contents we'll be covering today is the Refined Sketch Recap, Design Development for the Super Graphic, Design Development for the Mockup, the Final Artwork, and the Reflection Statement. Refined Sketch Recap. This was the refined sketch that was chosen for me to take further. It relates to my themes of a typography super graphic design and follows the message of Homey, which is a label for the streets. Design development for my super graphic. I made my super graphic within Adobe Illustrator and began by following my refined sketch and creating a tag for the clothes that I created. I made a rectangle-like shape and added some small 0.25 point lines for detail and added a circle at the top of the tag to make it look like a real tag. After that, I added the label for the tag, like where they put the price on it, and decided to do like a little rectangle with small lines going everywhere on the edges to make it like it's been ripped off and pasted on. After that, I then added the word label on top of the red part to make it look like that was the sale part, but instead it was just the label like I did for my design. After that, I then remade the vector logo for Homey and put it on my design on a black circle as it would look like it was on the tag and has been printed that way. After that, I then started beginning to add my words. So first I added A and then for, and then put the label between it. Then I added a label for the street, so I added the whole thing and I set it out this way and I thought this was the best one. Design development for mocking up my super graphic. I took my super graphic from Illustrator into Photoshop and started mocking up my design on the Homey store. I wanted to have a design that could wrap around the building, so first I started with the first super graphic and then I pasted the second one and was ready to do this side of the building. The next step was for me to make my typography look like it was on the actual building. So first I selected the pole on the left and I put it on top of the typography and then cut on the side of the second set of the typography to make it look like it was wrapping around the building. I next had to get the power lines in front of the typography, so I turned the opacity down of the affected areas and selected the power lines and brought them to the front. As you can see here on the image on the right, that is before, and now the image on the left here is now after. So I made it look like it had some depth and looked like it was actually on the building. I then added the same layer of the original Homey store and then put it to the top, turned the opacity all the way down so it looked like it had some depth and it wasn't just on the building looking fake like it was on the left side. I then got the second image of the Homey store and started mocking up this side. So first I got the first Homey typography that I made and put it on the left side of the building and was ready to cut it off to make it like it was wrapping around. I then added the next set of typography because I wanted to go around the whole building and make it like it wrapped around. So first I added it on and then I had to get rid of these power lines and bring the pole in front to make it like it was on the actual building. So I did that by quick selecting it all and then bringing it to the front layer. As you can see here, it's on the front layer and now that looks like it's actually on the building and looks like it's behind the power lines and the power pole. My final artwork. This is my first finished mock-up for my super graphic and you can see that the typography looks like it is on the actual building and it starts to wrap around. Then on the second side it fully wraps around and continues to look like it's on the building. And I made sure I put the power lines in front of all the typography and make sure the poles was out as well. Reflection statement. The factor that I enjoyed most about my Assessment Task 3 work was that I was given a requirement, such as using the saying for the super graphic of the Homey store. But from there I was able to use my creativity to pave the way for the rest of the assessment. Doing all the research, thumbnails and refined sketching, it let my mind open up to many more options and find the best suitable outcome. There were many difficulties around mocking up my super graphic on the Homey store. I had problems trying to find the best way to mock it up, to make it look most realistic and look the best. But after trying many different possibilities, the one I chose I felt like it was the best one. I am very happy with the super graphic that I developed. I feel like it is a suitable, relatable and fits perfect on the Homey store if it were in real life. I feel like this super graphic would catch people's attention and make them want to shop and support Homey's label and represent them due to this as it provides an eye-catching example of Homey's intentions as a store. If I could redo any part of this assessment, I believe it would be maybe trying to mock it up in another way. I tried a few ways and wasn't happy, but I felt like I could do a few more versions that would have helped me to conclude the best appropriate option. However, the option I created, I felt like I did this best and it was the best of my super graphic.